Okay guys, it's time to rock and roll. So we've got an in-tune guitar, we've got a set-up guitar, we know the names of the strings, and it's time to learn how to play this thing. So I'm going to show you the riff, but I'm also going to show you how to read tab. Maybe you've heard of it. It's short for tablature. And what tab is basically music reading for guitar players. So it's kind of dummied down a little bit in a way because it's really straightforward. It's just numbers and some lines. And so let me show you the basics of that, and you're going to learn how to play this classic riff. So, how many strings does the guitar have? That's right, it has 6 strings. Now, when you count here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So, the cool thing about tab is that each one of these lines simply represents a string. And so now you know the names of the strings. And if you haven't already, I'd highly recommend getting them memorized because I'm going to be referring to them a ton throughout this video series. So, the one thing that's kind of confusing about tab is that it's kind of like holding our guitars up like this. So, that's the first thing to kind of wrap your mind around, is that, yeah, it's kind of like upside down and backwards, kind of. So yeah, just think about having your guitar held up like this. And so this low string right here is going to be on this line, right? And that's right, that's the E string. And then moving forward, we've got the A string, the D string, the G string, the B string, and I'm going to differentiate the 2 E strings by writing this one as a lowercase e, because as you can see, when we're holding up a guitar like this, we've got our big E and our small e. So that's the kind of rundown of tabs so far. Now, okay, well, what do we do from here? So all we have to remember is that it's just like reading a book. It's just like going left to right, and so that's the progression, is just left to right, just like we're reading a book. And all we're going to insert on the lines are numbers. So now, say here's our line. The numbers represent the frets. And what the frets are these lines right here going across. And so when I write in, say, the 3rd fret, what I'm referring to there is this. So see how the line goes right through the number? Now, and so that's the basic thing. So it's not like on top of or below, and especially with handwritten tab, you got to be really careful to make sure that it's that the number is written right through. So on computer written stuff, it's a little easier. Now, the other thing that I want you to know about is 0. So what the heck does 0 mean? 0 means that we're going to play an open string. So what I would do is I would just think of 0 actually meaning open. Smoke on the water. Let's get to it. Our very first note. A 0 for open on the E string. So go ahead and play that note. And if you played this note right here, then you're right. So moving forward, we've got the 3rd fret. Now this is all on the low E string, so we play the 0 first, and then we play the 3rd fret. So now if you go up to the 3rd fret, we count these lines, right? So we go 1, 2, 3, and there's your 2nd note. So the first 2 notes of Smoke on the Water are like this. All right? The next one here is 5. Boom, boom, boom. So see if you can beat me to the 3rd fret. So I'm counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to hit that. There we go. And now here's the thing about tab. It does not tell you what fingers to use. Now I'm using my 1st finger, but I actually want you to use your 3rd finger for this note. You just kind of have to put that to memory. So, first 3 notes of Smoke on the Water. All right? Now the cool thing here is it starts out the same for the next part. Now with an exception of going to 6-5 instead of 0-3-5, the next time we got 0-3-6-5. I'll just play for you what that sounds like. All right? So we got 0-3-5, 0-3-6-5. Now, moving forward, we go back to 0-3-5. So that's super easy to remember. Okay? And so we've already covered that. And then for the finale, we've got a 3. I'm just going to extend this line a little bit to 0. So, now we've all heard this riff somewhere, but in case you haven't, here's the whole thing start to finish. And maybe you're ready to play along with me, but don't worry if you aren't. I've got this tab here for you and the tab on your video screen there. So, here we go. So 0-3-5, 0-3-6-5, 0-3-5-3-0. So, work on that. Watch those fingers. Make sure that you're using your 3rd finger on the 5th fret. And that's your very first guitar riff to start this program off right. Now I'm going to show you how to play Smoke on the Water in your point of view. So let's check it out.